Well, a very good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trent Bridge, the start of another T20 Blast double header here at Nottingham, involving the local sides against the sides from the north east. It will be Notts Outlaws taking on Durham at 3 o'clock in the men's match. But before that, just about to get underway in the next few minutes, the Blaze are at home to Durham women. The news from the toss is that Durham have won it and have inserted the Blaze. So the Blaze will be batting first. A couple of changes for the home side. Durham are unchanged. Both these sides actually coming into this game off the back of wins against Warwickshire. The Blaze won at Edgbaston on Wednesday in their last match. Warwickshire then went up to the north east, played Durham on Friday evening at Chesterley Street. Durham getting a win there. The Blaze 3 wins out of 3. Sitting second in the table, a game in hand on Surrey, who today plays Somerset. That's a 12 o'clock start. And Durham sit mid-table at the moment. They're nicely poised in 5th spot, 2 wins out of 3 matches. Really important game today, and we're bringing it to you on Trent Bridge Live throughout the day here. Lovely looking surface. The overhead conditions a little cloudy. They do say that perhaps there's the odd shower crossing the East Midlands during the afternoon, but hopefully we'll be okay. We don't tend to get a lot of rain here. So the two Blaze Outlaws, two Blaze openers out there in the middle, Marie Kelly and Tammy Beaumont. The two changes from the last match for the Blaze, Charlie Phillips and Josie Groves not playing in this one. Pasha Thanawala comes into the side for her T20 debut, and Maria Andrews, it's her Blaze debut. We're going to get underway with Maddie Villiers. Going to bowl her off breaks from the Stuart Broad end, and we're underway. The first ball just helped onto the leg side by Marie Kelly, and that'll go for 4 in fact. Just timed that fairly sweetly out towards the Fox Road side of the ground. Grace Thompson out there with the sliding attempt, unable just to prevent the ball hitting the ropes. So a little bit of turn and bounce, as you saw, and this one's helped away. Good attempt in the deep by Grace Thompson, but a good start from the Blaze captain, Marie Kelly. Second ball goes on the offside and nicely stopped in the cover region. It's Emily Windsor in the covers in her second year with Durham. Marie Kelly missing this latest delivery, nicely taken by Mia Rogers. Whips off a bail. 4 without loss then. The Blaze put into bat. Durham unchanged. There's an attempted reverse. Now, she got something on this. Durham are celebrating. Marie Kelly not going anywhere. Our umpire at the far end is Gabby Brown. She didn't see any reason to send Marie Kelly on her way. Square leg Gareth Cross, the former Lancashire wicket-keeper, standing. Down the track comes Kelly. She's got hold of this one. Lifts it over the head of mid-off. Ball plugs slightly, and they'll come back for a couple of runs. The Blaze 6 without loss. Durham side in full. Holly Armitage, Maddie Villiers, who's bowling, Emily Windsor, Bess Heath, Heather Graham, the Aussie international, who had a couple of part seasons here at Trent Bridge. Mia Rogers, the keeper, Grace Thompson, Sophia Turner, Trudy Johnson, Abby Glenn and Katie Levick down the leg side. Kelly will get this away. Good start for Marie Kelly to this match, and she's quickly into double figures, and the Blaze taking 10 from the opening over here at Trent Bridge. Maddie Villiers, that last one, just dragging it down the leg side and helped away nicely by Marie Kelly. 30 years of age now. This is her 147th T20 match. She's closing in on 2,500 runs. This season she's been going pretty well in both competitions now. The added responsibility of skippering the side with Kirsty Gordon away with Scotland. The three Blaze Scottish players all involved yesterday in a win over Bangladesh. Bryce sisters seeing the Scots home to an 8-wicket victory. Congratulations to Catherine with another international half-century in that one. England with the win over India yesterday, and Amy Jones playing in that one. So one overdone. It'll be Trudy Johnson to bowl the second over here for the visitors in their yellow and blue outfit. Tammy Beaumont drives this down the ground for a single, and Tammy is up and running. Next due in for the Blaze is Charlie Knott, the Australian, and then Georgia Elwis, and it's happy birthday to Georgia today. Celebrates another milestone birthday. She's 35 today, Georgia. 11 without loss, the Blaze. Marie Kelly, tall right-hander on strike, will cut this away. She's begun this game in very fine order indeed. Marie Kelly cuts this to backward point for 4. And the Blaze at the moment making the most of these power play overs. Third boundary for Marie Kelly. Interesting that Durham have chosen to go in the field first. How many will they have to chase? Kelly on 14 from 7. She'll get another 1 here. That was a good stop at extra cover. It could well have been on its way for another boundary, but unable to penetrate the ring fully on the offside. 16 without loss. Holly Armitage, the skipper, with the stop, and just tinkering with the field a little bit. Her helmet is being brought out for Mia Rogers, so the keeper's going to stand up with Tammy Beaumont on strike, certainly. Welcome along to Trent Bridge. You'd hope the ground will fill up through the day. Never ceases to amaze me that people with tickets for the day's cricket don't tend to come along until just before the men's game. This is generally a single taken on the leg side, rather more than a starter, rather more than an appetizer. Certainly with the Blaze involved, it's very often a high-octane contest in its own right, and generally some really good cricket being played in this season's Vitality Blast, and very attractive opposition out there in Durham today, and going well in this competition. That's nicely pulled by Kelly. Gets it through mid-wicket. Again, it was just short of a length. She's able to get on the front foot and drag it away deliberately into that gap through mid-wicket for 4 more. And this is a terrific start from Marie Kelly. She's obviously seen far more of the strike. Tammy Beaumont's only faced a couple of deliveries, both of which she's played away for a single, but Kelly 19 from 9, fast out the traps here as Johnson comes in and bowls, and Marie Kelly gave herself just a little bit too much room there. Final ball of the over, trying to cut it through the offside, unable to get anything on it, but the Blaze will take that very happily poised at 21 without loss after 2 overs. I hope the rain doesn't interrupt this game, because it did last year. Match in early July on this ground was called off after only about 4 overs were played. Real shame for the players and those inside Trent Bridge. Blaze won the match at Chesterfield Street last year, chasing down 188. Tammy Beaumont making 81. She's She's on strike now and up against a familiar opponent, Heather Graham. Heather, 30 years of age now, from Western Australia. Born in Subiaco, just outside Perth. Right arm, medium fast she bowls, and right on the sticks. Tammy Beaumont just pushes it back to the Australian. .226 wickets in this format for Heather Graham, best of 4 for 8. Good pick up by Durham for this season. She bowls now and Beaumont will cut this away. Gaps through necessity with the field up inside the ring. And cut away to backward point for 4 runs by Tammy Beaumont. The only 2 fielders out. Deep mid-wicket fence and the cover boundary. You've got to bowl straight to this pair. They'll pounce on any width offered. 25 without loss. Heather Graham from the Stewart Broad end here. Bowls, and Tammy Beaumont drills this up to mid-on, and there's no run. Abby Glenn doing the fielding. Pavilion work on pause for today. Match day, a Sunday. Doesn't seem to be anybody down at the far end. 25 without loss. Another boundary here for Beaumont. Again, just a little too short from Heather Graham. Knows where to bowl on this ground, but sadly just, again, gave Tammy Beaumont too much width, and Beaumont drills it away for a second boundary of the over. Good morning to those of you joining us on the BBC Sport website and app, as Tammy Beaumont pushes this ball back to Heather Graham. There are all pictures available via Trent Bridge Live, the Nottinghamshire County Cricket Club's live streaming service. I'm Dave Bracegirdle. I have to say, over towards East Midlands Airport, way to our right, towards the west, it is particularly dark over there as Beaumont again gets it away on the leg side, and as she found the gap, she hasn't. It's a good sliding stop out there. And on this occasion, Sophia Turner just managing to prevent it going from a boundary. Nevertheless, it's still a very good start from the Blaze. 10 from that over, 31 without loss. Three bowlers used so far. And, another change being made here. Katie Levick coming into the attack. Katie, leg break bowler. Born in Sheffield, very much part of the Durham women's success story over the last couple of years. Bowls now, and a big strong LBW shout there, and Gareth Cross, the umpire, studying it firmly, then looking, as you might have seen on the stream, over his right shoulder towards the dark clouds which are getting ever closer. Let's hope they pass us by. Kelly on strike, 19 from 11. Down the track she comes, and oh, that's just beaten the fielder at mid-on. Going to come all the way to the ropes, and that's another boundary from Marie Kelly. And away for 4 more. Terrific start this, 35 without loss. Kelly on to 23 from 12. Levick in again. Oh, same drag onto the leg side. I don't think she's going to find the rope this time. She isn't, but just a single cut off by deep mid-wicket there. I think that's Bess Heath coming round to do the field. No, it's Heather Graham, beg your pardon, doing the fielding. 36 without loss. Beaumont on 12 from 8 balls. Katie Levick down the leg side, and she's dragged it on, Tammy Beaumont. That's unlucky. That really is unlucky. Going to play the sweep away fine, and she's just dragged it on there, and Tammy Beaumont is out for 12. 36 for 1. That's a wicket certainly that Durham really needed. She's at the crease for just shy of quarter of an hour. 9 balls, 2 fours in a 12, but Tammy Beaumont falls. And that's a really important blow struck there by the visitors. Wicket coming in the 4th over. Yeah, Beaumont just getting a piece on that. Had she not, it almost certainly would have been a leg side wide. She's going to sweep it away fine, and has only resulted in just dragging it onto her leg stump. So very unfortunate there for Beaumont. New bat in at 3 is Charlie Knott. Hails from Queensland, 23 years of age. Has played some Australia A cricket. We'll hope in the not too distant future to elevate that to the full international standings. Good player, made a good impression with the Blaze already, with bat and ball in at 3. Levick bowls to her and dropped on the leg side. We're both sort of eyeing up a sharply stolen single there and decided against it. 1 ball left in the 4th. Stand out over this so far for Durham, taking pace off the ball. Katie Levick, and again, and not with the sweep. Gets it fine, but won't get a run. Some good stuff from Levick. There's a boundary in the over, but just 5 from it, and the wicket of Tammy Beaumont. So 36 for 1 after 4 overs. I'm sure you're familiar with the regulations. 20 overs a side. First 6 overs are deemed as power play overs. Only 2 fielders are allowed outside the 30-yard circle, out in the deep. Trudy Johnson to bowl the 5th over from the Stuart Broad end. First over from this end went for 11. Trudy Johnson hails from the northeast, from Northumberland. Still a teenager, 19 years of age. Comes in right arm, fair head, bowls, and Kelly's got hold of that again and hitting out towards deep mid-wicket. And it's gone for 4. It's a good attempt on the boundary. Fielder there's gone down, and a little bit of concern there. Can't quite see who it is in the deep. Made an attempt to stop the ball right on the rope. Just jarred her shoulder. This is indicated that she's okay. Physio's going over just to check. 40 for 1. Looking shot again from Kelly, who's on 28. Long on and deep mid-wicket out as we resume, and that's Kelly gone. She's just helped this into the hands of short third. It's outside the off stump again. It was there for the cut shot. Didn't try and play it down, Marie Kelly was trying to lift it over the ring. But she's helped it straight into the hands of short third, and that's a huge wicket for Durham to take. Kelly out for 28 after a very bright start. Emily Windsor with the catch. 6 fours to Marie Kelly. He faced 15 balls. Trudy Johnson with the wicket. Here comes the birthday girl, Georgia Elwis, out to join Charlie Knott. Deliberately looked to play it up and over there, Marie Kelly, but Emily Windsor, fine fielder, holding the catch right on the discs at a short third. High above her head, comfortably taken. 2 balls into the 5th over, 40 for 2 the Blaze. So Georgia Elwis, vastly experienced England international, on strike. First ball stopped at backward point, she'll get a single. Up and running. Elvis, Morning Wolverhampton. Last played for England in 2021. Over 50 international caps to her name. Closing in on 3,000 runs in this format. Well over 200 appearances. Now Charlie Knott, not seen much of the strike since coming out to the middle. Turns a 3rd delivery to mid-wicket, and there's no run. Ella Claridge, Emma Jones likely to be numbers 5 and 6. And then Prisha Thanawala making a T20 Blast debut. Next ball is hit back. Oh, now then, was that a chance? It was drilled back by Charlie Knott towards the shins of the bowler. Couldn't do too much about it there, Johnson. I don't even think she got her hand on it. Might just have stopped it with a boot, took the pace off it, but potentially a quarter chance there. She's been able to get her hands down quicker. 41 for 2. This comes in again, bowls to Knott. Pitched up nice and full. Played up to mid-off, and there's no run. And that's good stuff from the Durham bowlers. They're through 5 overs now, and Notts, or rather the Blaze, have 41 on the board for the loss of Tammy Beaumont. Dragged on for 12, and Marie Kelly caught at short third for 28, 40 for 2. Looks as if Heather Graham's going to get another over. Her first went for 10. Graham to Elwis. Right armour, bowls, and nicely cut away by Georgia Elwis for 4. Just making the most of these fielding restrictions there. Just guided it backward a point and away towards the Larwood and Vaux stand for 4 runs. Blaze in their flame red tops. Dark cricket trousers, Durham in yellow and blue. 45 for 2. Keeper standing up. Graham in again. Bowls again with width, and she's nicked this through, I think, where first slip would have been had there been the need for one at this stage. And she's got another boundary there. Georgia Elwis, good start to this over, back-to-back boundaries. First one deliberately played. That one, I think, went a little finer than she intended. Still gets the boundary nonetheless. Blaze 3 wins out of 3. In a really good season, 7 wins out of 8 in the Metro Bank 50 over competition, which will resume later on in the summer. Sitting top of the table. So a few problems for the Durham skipper here in the final over of the power play. Back-to-back boundaries. Heather Graham, I think, is now content with the field. 2 out are effectively sweepers on either side. Georgia Elwis on her birthday, back-to-back boundaries, and we'll get a single away on the offside, and that will bring the Blaze up to 50. 50 for 2, half century. Happy birthday, Georgia Elwis. I'm sure she's had a nice cake and a card from the Nottinghamshire Director of Cricket, Mick Newell, who's popped in to say hello. Good morning, Nick.
Good
Mick.
morning, Dave. That's all right. No, I have seen a cake in the players' dining room, so I'm sure they're going to enjoy that after this game.
She's got off to a fine start. Charlie Knott, the Australian, on the strike, and this is played into the covers, and there's no run. These clouds again just rolling in from sort of East Midlands Airport. We often see them threatening and then just skirt round the ground, Mick, don't we? What's your instinct telling you?
Groundsman thought we might have got a bit of rain in the last half an hour, but we haven't, so it looks a bit brighter now, so hopefully it's not coming.
Heather Graham, 2 balls left in the power play, short and pulled away onto the leg side by Knott. Gets her off the mark. In fact, she'll come back for a couple. 52 for 2. Nice again to see so many players away for the Blaze. Once more, an opportunity being given. 2 more of the youngsters coming into the side. Prisha Thanawala, she played once in the 50 over competition, getting a debut, and Maria Andrews, who was given a full contract yesterday, getting a debut. This is chopped into the offside, and it's a misfield. Bonus runs for Charlie Knott. In fact, it'll go for 4. Little sloppy from Durham. Final ball of the power play overs. That just gives the scoreboard a little more of a pleasing look for the Blaze. 15 from that over. 56 for 2 here on Trent Bridge Live and on the BBC Sport website. Got Knott's Director of Cricket, Mick Newell, alongside. What a season, what a summer they're having, the Blaze, so far.
Yeah, they've made a great start, I think, in the 50 over competition to 7 out of 8, I think they are, and in this competition with 3 from 3. And, you know, like you've just said, that one of the pleasing things is the getting local girls on debut. Today we've got Maria Andrews and Prisha, who's already played in the 50 over comp, and I think, you know, it's no different from the men's game. We want to produce our own players. We want to see locally produced girls and boys representing Nottinghamshire in the Blaze out there on Trent Bridge, and I think it's a great day for Maria and for Prisha. And credit to Kane, Hamilton Boyle and the academy staff that we're now producing, you know, more and more of our own players as we see players disappearing off to play for Scotland and England A shortly. Johnson's had 2 overs, starts her 3rd with one that goes down the leg side. Umpire Gabby Brown already indicating that it'll be 5 wides. Poorly directed delivery there. It's a real bonus for any side, isn't it? Any form of the game, or any form of the white ball game where you're playing leg side wides, you just can't afford to let one drift down there. You can't, and I think the challenge for the keepers is that, for the most part, in 20 overs, the girls stand up to the stumps, and it's a difficult take down the leg side, so you have to be bang on with your accuracy. So the over begins with 5 to the total, 61 for 2. Here comes Johnson again. Oh, and again! Oh, crikey, that's a double whammy. The over's still got 6 balls to go, and it's already gone for 10 runs. Oh my word, you feel for her a little bit, don't you? That looked like it bounced a bit as well. Yeah. The keeper's taking a helmet off and going to stand back. I mean, I think, you know, that was a difficult take. That looked like it bounced, but like you say, we thought we'd come out of the power play with 56. We've actually come out of it with 66, yeah. Which is a nice little boost. So the keeper stands back. Georgia Elwis, 10 from 4. Loss of Beaumont and Kelly. Slight worry for the Blaze. 2 of the real senior players. Probably need one of this pair to bat through the bulk of the overs now.
We're getting a little bit of rain falling. 66 for 2, and this one's hit up into the air, but the field is set deep, trying to protect the boundaries. The Blades have got off to such a good start, and just dragged on the leg side for a single. 67 for 2.
Yeah, it's a short boundary out there, isn't it, Dave? Like you said, on the leg side, so you've actually got 3 fielders out on that boundary and nobody saving one. If there had been a square leg or a mid-wicket, that would definitely have been out, but obviously the field changes after the power play ends.
Does it niggle you when you hear people referring to, it's Trent Bridge, it's such a short boundary?
Well, it's just the way it is, isn't it? It's just the facts of the ground now, and most places we go to have bigger boundaries than we do.
Next ball is hit away to backward point by Knott. She'll get a boundary there. This is going to be a very expensive over. Still got 4 balls left, and already it's gone for 15 runs.
My sense is Durham have bowled too wide. I didn't see all the power play, but my sense is quite a lot of square cuts and punches off the back foot. You have to bowl straight. It's probably not a particularly quick pitch, so if you give people width, they're going to throw their hands at it. If you bowl straight and make people try and knock it off straight, I think that's more of a challenge.
How are we going to get people to come and watch both games in the doubleheader? Because we know Trent Bridge will look pretty close to full a little later on, provided the rain stays away, of course. And they buy the ticket and it gets them in for both games. And there's some really good cricket being played here. Oh, this one's gone through to the keeper. They're claiming a catch. Mia Rogers, the keeper, she was absolutely convinced, but Charlie Knott's gone nowhere, and the umpire sees no reason to send her anywhere. 71 for 2.
I think it's part of the growing nature of the women's game. I do say a lot, the men have had a team here for nearly 200 years. The girls have been here for 4. So as the game grows, people see it's a highly skilled game, and the girls are professional athletes. They're very, very skillful and getting better every year. We're obviously hoping that more and more people will come earlier.
Knott has 10. Survived a slight scare there and gets this one, skews this one off the outside edge, and it runs down to third for 4 runs. Little fortunate, but go after your shots.
Again, a bit wide, not really where Charlie Knott was aiming it, but a bit wide, and if you give width, people are going to throw the bat at it. She could have got lucky there and got caught backward point or short third man. Lucky from a bowler's perspective. As it was, she was a little bit unlucky and it went straight through the gap between the two, but I think Durham have to bowl straighter than that.
I think we're getting a little bit of a sprinkling of rain out there. The ground staffer stood on red alert by the hover cover. Should it continue or get heavier? 75 for 2. We're only in the 7th over. And again comes Johnson. This one's hit low to mid-on and out. And there's a wicket, and Charlie Knott goes for 14. The ups and downs of a bowler's life. Dreadful over in terms of it beginning with 2 lots of 5 leg side wides, a couple of boundaries, one off the outside edge. Bowls a fully pitched up ball, nicely struck by Charlie Knott, when she's picked out Abby Glenn at mid-on and has to go for 14. 75 for 3.
So if I'm the coach there of the Blaze, my reaction is 19 off 4 balls. What are we thinking? Haven't we got enough off this over? But players nowadays, they like to keep going, they go hard. The idea of knocking it around for 1s and 2s doesn't seem to exist anymore, but I do think that's a wasted wicket when you've taken 19, admittedly with the help of 2 lots of 5 wides, off the over. And I think what you don't want to be is 5 down at the halfway point here, because that limits your ability to go big at the back end of the innings, and this might be a problem if we lose any more wickets before 10, 12, 14 overs, because we want to be swinging at the end. Yeah,
there's not a wealth of experience or batting experience at the lower end. Kirsty Gordon, who I'm sure is listening or watching somewhere. Good morning, Kirsty. Generally is always there as sort of the fail-safe, the one to come in generally with Lucy Hyam or somebody down the order, and if there is a middle or a lower middle order collapse, they can often rescue things. Ella Claridge is in at 5. Drops this down onto the leg side, and that ends an eventful over. 75 for 3, 19 runs from it, but the wicket of Charlie Knott, the Australian, who went for 14. Big responsibility, I fancy, now on the shoulders of Georgia Elwes. Does she sort of take that all on board and sort of look at who's to come and play her game accordingly, or would you be wanting her just to see ball, hit ball, carry on?
Yeah, it was an interesting one for her. I think Emma Jones coming in next is obviously someone who's played some really good cameo innings this season, but again from coming in with about 12-14 overs gone, so you don't want Emma coming in too early. I'm sure Kirsty is listening, and she knows I'm a big fan of hers. I think the innings that she plays at the back end of T20 already this season, her and Lucy, to finish games off. She's a fighter and she never gives up, and she wants to see this team over the line as often as she can.
Katie Levick to have a second over. Her first one only went for 5 runs. Leg break bowler. She dismissed Tammy Beaumont. A little unfortunate, don't know if you saw that. It was drifting down the leg side and Beaumont down on the sweep, just dragged it back onto her stumps. 75 for 3. This is played to mid-wicket by Elwes. I mean, that one goes down as bowled, obviously. There's been some curious dismissals up and down the country. I don't know if you've seen one or two of these in recent times. The Ryan Higgins, did you see his,
no, I haven't seen that
hit wicket the other day?
Right.
The bat came out of his hand, went up in the air, came back over his shoulder and landed on the stumps.
Right.
Extraordinary stuff.
In a T20?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
76 for 3. There's been one or two played on. Georgia Elwes played on at Old Trafford on Monday. Yeah. This one's swept away fine for a single. I think had she not reacted like she did to put her bat down, the keeper would have picked the ball up anyway, and it wouldn't have happened. 77 for 3. Noises in the background, emergency service vehicles just going past the ground. Sunday morning cricket at Trent Bridge. That's Levick bowls, and that's drilled against Ella Claridge, who I think will be okay. Not sure where he'd hit her. Oh no, she's just down on her haunches. They've taken a single. It was pitched up by the leg spinner, drilled hard by Elwes.
Because it's on the wrist, does it, or the lower arm? She's keeping wicket as well in this game, so I don't know who's keeping wicket. If she's got Tammy, Tammy would be keeping wicket looking at that.
Let's hope she's okay.
Yeah, I think we are a little bit thin. Those 7 and 8 spots will be some pressure on Prisha and Boise coming back into the team, Georgia Boyce. So we do need a couple more partnerships. That's why going 3 down as early as the 7th over is a bit of a worry, and particularly if now Ella can't carry on. But I think Georgia always becomes the key player through the middle and the back end of the innings now to get us up to something around the 160, 180 mark, maybe even. But if we lose wickets, that's going to become a real challenge.
Just checking out Ella Claridge. Let's hope she's okay. While we've got you, Mick, any updates? We're at the end of May now. We've got a test match here before the end of June. I understand the plan is to get some of the seats in front of the pavilion available.
Yeah, so the seats are available, I think, all 5 days now.
Yeah.
So basically, I think if you've got a ticket, if you're a member and you've got a ticket in another part of the ground, you can move into the pavilion. So I don't think that the internal work will be completed by then, but behind the black sheets that you and I can see, I think we're not far away from putting the seats into that area. I believe they're coming in the next week or so. And then people
so can you book those or just...
Yes, if you've got a ticket, if you're a member and you've got a ticket in another part of the ground, you can ring up and change that ticket from, say, Hound Road or Fox Road to the pavilion, yeah.
Let's hope that series is nicely poised. I'm sure the mad keen England supporters will be hoping England are 2-0 up, but I'm sure you're hoping that it's nicely poised one way or another.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Trent Bridge Test match is always a great occasion. It's a great occasion for the club. It'll be great to see the pavilion partly in use. Big occasion for our new head groundsman here, Andrew Solway Duncan, who's taken over from Steve Burks and doing a great job with some of the pitches that we've played on so far this year, including this one. But a test match pitch is another challenge for him and another amount of pressure that he's not had to experience before.
And it's not long after then, it's beginning of July, isn't it? You've got India here.
It's about 10 days, isn't it, between the two, yeah.
Ella Claridge, hopefully okay. She's got a single to her name. Levick continues. This is cut to backward point as we resume in the 8th over. No run. 78 for 3. Must be delighted with the championship side. I am. Top of the table after 6 would take that.
Yeah, 100% we'd take that. I think we've played really, really well. And games that we haven't been able to win, we've had high-scoring draws.
Levick bowls down with the sweep is Claridge. She's got this nice and fine. Should come back for a couple of runs to take the Blaze to 80 for 3.
I think, you've been at all 6 games. I don't think we've ever looked particularly like losing any of those games. Warwickshire, we got ourselves out of a bit of trouble with a follow-on, but I think we were only 4 down or 5 down in the second innings, so never really under pressure. And a bit like last year, if you can't win, just try and secure high-scoring draws until you find games and situations from which you can win. And I think that is still the aim. 8 games to go. Probably still need to win another 4 at least of those. And if we do that, I don't think we'll be far off the top.
That will resume in a couple of weeks' time. There's still a few more Blast games to go. Remember, the men's match starts at 3 o'clock today. Notts Outlaws versus Durham. Fair to say that there's a long overdue change in fortune due for the men's side, certainly this season.
Yeah, I think we showed some signs last year of getting back to where we want to be in T20 cricket, but we haven't started this season particularly well.
Heather Graham, she's had an over from the far end, an over from this end, and now she's back at the Stewart Broad end, the pavilion end. Started her 3rd over, bowls to Elwes. She gets a single away on the offside.
It's not Graham. I want you to bring the scoreboard, Dave. It's number 48.
It's Sophia Turner then. It's a good spot from me. We've got the live stream and the board. Yeah, comes in again and bowls. Claridge just plays it to the right of the bowler. They'll take a single. I'll sort this out in a minute. 82 for 3.
So disappointing on Friday night as the 2 games were last week, and I think we haven't put together what we would call a really good performance. I think hopefully this afternoon an opportunity to get things going, and then by the end of next Sunday, in the ideal world, with 3 from 6 as opposed to looking down the barrel.
Elwes on strike. Again, she's found that gap down towards 3rd. We just hauled back in. Good throw in from the deep. They'll come back for that 3rd run.
It's well run, isn't it?
It is indeed.
It's not a big boundary on any part of this field today, so to get a 3 is a good effort from Claridge coming back this end.
I think we call that 3rd or 3rd man down there. Fergus O'Neill do a commentary stint with me, and he calls it the slice man. Somebody down there. That's the slice position. 85 for 3. This is down the leg side, and it's another wide bolt from the far end. 86 for 3. Certainly know what he means. More often than not, it is just slice down there, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's a position that we, in the girls' game, they sort of have the short 3rd because they're thinking that people make them hit towards the leg side and cover the bigger boundaries and the leg side boundaries. But if you give width on the offside, you are vulnerable to that shot going through there.
Durham winning the toss, wanting to bowl first. They've got 3 wickets so far as Claridge plays this up to mid-off. Slight misfield up there. It's been 1 or 2 fumbles in the field, and this one just took a slightly awkward bobble. 86 for 3. Tammy Beaumont out for 12. Marie Kelly started very brightly indeed before falling for 28. Charlie Knott made 14. Claridge, Australian international, American international, pushes this square of the wicket on the offside for another single. 87 for 3.
I think if we can have a rebuild here, go maybe to the 12th, 13th over. What I've seen of Emma Jones this year, she's played really, really well, but mainly in short little cameo innings. So if we can build something for her to come in and finish the innings off with, particularly with Georgia, that would be great.
Elwes has 17. Flailing away outside the off stump, doesn't get anything on it. That's another decent over for Durham. Only 7 runs coming from it, but as Mick was saying there, it's useful in terms of 7. 7's better than 6 or 5, isn't it? And the longer they go with still those 7 wickets in the hutch.
I think so. What have we got left now? 11 left. So if we could build this to about 110, 120 with 6 left, say, once you're getting above 160 in the girls' game, that's a pretty high score. Puts the pressure on the opposition, makes them come out and attack the power play. Ground
staff are just heading off, I think, for a cup of tea, which looks like good news.
That's a good sign. If they're not sitting on that far side of the ground, it's a fair trek back to their shed, so they're obviously fairly confident for a bit now.
Maddie Villiers bowled the opening over of this contest, went for 10 runs. She's going to get the opportunity Now to bowl from our end of the ground, the Radcliffe Road end. A lot of flight there, cut to backward point. They'll have to scamper. Well, they should have had to scamper quickly, but wasn't picked up cleanly. Single taken. Again, a slightly sloppy bit of fielding there. This time it's Emily Windsor, who has had a stint here with the Trent Rockets. Hails from Southampton area. She played for Southern Vipers in their time. The single taken, 89 for 3. Elvis has 18, Claridge 6. They've added 14 from 15 balls. This stand floated up and hit crisply by Claridge, but nicely fielded on the discs on the offside. Approaching the halfway stage in the innings. 3 balls left in the 10th over, and backing away there. Claridge doesn't get anything on it. Player Ella Claridge, but very often there aren't too many overs left when she generally gets to the crease. This is a 85th T20 match. Turns this square on the leg side, gets a single. That's a best of 96 in this format. Do with something today.
Still a really valuable squad player. I mean, Ella's had to wait her time this year with Sarah Bryce and Amy Jones, I think, both keeping wicket at different times. But people like Ella are really important.
Elvis on 18. Plays this again into the deep and just content to rotate the strike at the moment. Elvis, we're at the halfway stage, 91 for 3. I think both sides will take some merit from that. Blaze got off to a reasonable start, scored 56 in the power play overs, but Kelly and Beaumont had gone by then. Charlie Knott since followed, but 91 for 3 certainly is a platform to go on and get somewhere, well above 150, 160 you'd imagine from here.
Yeah, that's the key. I think is still having those wickets in hand a little bit longer. And I think, as I say, Emma Jones, I've not seen much of Pre-Shabat, but she obviously did well on her debut. 50 over game against Durham, and Boise we know can give it a whack. Lucy Hyam. So I think it's about having those wickets in hand in that last 4 or 5 overs, and ideally your best power hitters in, which one of whom would definitely be Emma Jones.
They're announcing again that it's Heather Graham, and it just popped up actually as Holly Armitage on the big screen for a moment, but it is Heather Graham. 2 overs for 25. This is dropped on the leg side. They might push hard for 2 here. Pulled out of the decision to go for that second. I think there probably was 2 there.
Yeah, agreed.
Wins for Scotland and England yesterday in the women's internationals ahead of the World Cup. Big summer for women's cricket. 92 for 3. Claridge has 7. So nice punched into the offside. It was indeed, and there's no run. Had an afternoon and evening in front of the box. I watched the women's match yesterday, and then watched the footy. Watched the Arsenal.
Yep. And then the Sussex Middlesex to finish your evening, or not?
Well, I turned it over, and they were interviewing Tamal Mills about. Obviously about the match. It hadn't gone particularly well as far as his side were concerned, so it had finished. If it hadn't gone to extra time, then I would have caught it. 92 for 3. Yeah. There was some boxing on BBC 2 there, so right. my good lady wasn't too thrilled about.
Perfect Saturday day.
Well, yeah, not too bad at all. We're in the 11th over. The Blaze 92 for 3. Both these sides coming off the back of wins against Warwickshire. As Claridge plays this into the offside, no run. Durham 2 wins out of 3, the Blaze 3 wins out of 3. About 15 minutes away from Surrey facing Somerset. That's a big match. 2 of the top 3 sides clashing. So the table should really look to take some shape by the end of the day. Nicely played again by Claridge. Down the ground towards the Hound Road stand for a single. 93 for 3.
The benefit of that power play in that start is there now, because you've got an over like this where we've only scored 2. What we don't want is Georgia to to panic and feel like she needs to whack a boundary and we lose another wicket. So even if we just tap a 1 or a 2 or whatever comes of this, there might be a gap on the offside there if she bowls wide.
Graham, final ball of her third over. She's already gone for 27. Again, an opportunity to push for 2. And once more, they decide against it. Could well have been, once more, we said it earlier, a 2 there, but a good over from Heather Graham. Only 3 runs from it. 94 for 3. The Blaze, 11 extras in the innings. They were certainly helped by those 2 lots of 5 wides from consecutive deliveries, but still on course for, I'd say they'd need topside of 160 to go into their bowling stint with some degree of confidence. Katie Levick is probably the most experienced member of the Durham attack. She's going to come back for her third over.
Yeah, you'd think so. You'd always want 160 plus, I think, to put pressure on. Obviously, a slightly changed bowling attack. I'm looking forward to seeing Maria Andrews bowl. Actually, I've not seen much of Maria Andrews, so obviously replacing Kirsty today and Lucy Hyam. So we've got 2 definite sets of 4 overs of spin there. And
Charlie Phillips not playing today. 94 for 3. Levick bowls. Leg break bowler. Turned to leg by Elwes. This time they will push for a second run. Nicely done. I think if you push it like that all the way out to the fence, both set off with the ambition and the clarity of calling, there should always be 2. 96 for 3.
Yes, as I say, it's a reasonable size boundary on that leg side. Now she's bringing in the offside boundary, so nobody on the boundary on the offside. So this will be interesting whether Georgia tries to make a bit of room and hit it over that offside.
Come down the leg was the initial instinct. The sweep came in. And throw is
bodies everywhere.
Fired at the non-striker's end. No chance of an overthrow. It's a leg bite. It's a very confident appeal from the bowler. I felt it was probably drifting down the leg side, but maybe the appeal was used as a bit of a deterrent. 97 for 3. 12th extra of the innings. Claridge back on strike on 8. She'll drop this on the leg side. So that's 9 from 16 now. She's got the start, Ella Claridge here. Needs to push on now and get that strike rate up just a little bit. Georgia Elwes 23 from 17. Levick bowls.
Shot.
Nice slog sweep away on the leg side. She'll settle for 1 more. 99 for 3.
Lots of sweeps. It's interesting. I know Craig, the Blaze head coach, he loves a sweep and a reverse sweep as well. I think that's been part of the winter training, is to get everybody sweeping and reverse sweeping to try and manipulate the field.
Blaze 1 shy of 3 figures. They'll get there now with another single on the leg side from a slog sweep. In your 2 decades in the game as a player, did you ever play a reverse sweep?
I can remember the first famous one, Mike Gatting in the 1987 World Cup final, that nobody had ever seen it before. And you now look at it and virtually everybody plays it, men's and women's games. But no, Dave, it wasn't part of my repertoire.
Yeah, I think they were nicely poised, weren't they? Was it Border or somebody?
It might have been a part-time spinner,
yeah.
was it? Yeah.
The single behind square. Again, just steady manipulation here from the Blaze. 7 from that over. Not really had a big over for a while, but just ticking along nicely, and they've still got those 7 wickets in hand. The dugout, I'm sure, is just formulating plans as to how they're going to go about these final 8 overs here. 7 and over for the last 8 gets them up to almost 160. Might want to just push on a little more than that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as I say, Emma Jones is going to be the key at the back end of the innings as and when she gets in. I think Ella Claridge, if she's out there much longer, will pick up her strike rate. And George's 25 of 19, that's perfect, really. So I think 160 is a bare minimum, as you said.
Abby Glenn into the attack. I think for the first time, 25 years of age, hails from Leeds. Best in this format, figures of 2 for 10. Right arm, medium pace bowler, as you can see, and this is pulled crisply away for 4 by Elwes. She's just been waiting for that one, just rocked back on her heels there as soon as she picked up the length, pulled it away out towards the deep mid-wicket fence for 4. Nice crisp ball striking. nicely shot. 105 for 3. Elvis now the top scorer in the innings, gone past Marie Kelly, who made 28 from 15 at the top of the order. Elvis on 29. Glenn again bowls. This is down the leg side. It's one more to the total. Did it come off? Well, it might have come off the glove actually. Just deflected it past the keeper. 106 for 3. I thought initially it was going to be a leg side wide. Gareth Cross, the square leg umpire, former Lancashire keeper. Another keeper on the ground today, your old mates here. Match referee Wayne Noon. Yeah. 106 for 3, and this is a wicket. Claridge across her stump, so she soaked up 17 balls there, really getting herself set to push on, but it didn't happen. Going across her stumps, trying to slog sweep Abby Glenn away on the leg side, and missed it and lost her leg stick. And 106 for 4. And once again, a crucial time for Durham to strike. That in this format is what's sort of termed a little bit of a waste of a wicket, isn't it? She's been there for nearly 25 minutes. Got used to the conditions, got used to the bowlers, and she shared in that partnership there with Georgia Elvis, but 10 from 17, 10 from 18 in the end. She missed out on a few, left a few out there.
Yeah, if you're going to use up 18 balls to get in, we can live with that, but then you've got to kick on and make it work. I think that this now becomes the crucial partnership as to whether this score can go 160 plus, or whether we might be looking at something considerably less than that. And obviously from Durham's perspective, taking wickets is always going to be a... Is that off stump it hit or leg stump?
I think it's leg. I thought it was
leg. Okay, so she's just... It's not a terrible option as a shot. No. It's just not very well executed, but it wasn't a terrible option.
And the other thing I think we should mention and remind people is she was struck a nasty blow and seemed to be on the wrist. Let's hope she's okay and there was no lingering effects, and she'll be okay to keep wicket a little later.
Tammy will definitely be over now. Otherwise, we'll be on our fourth choice keeper, and definitely a reluctant one if Tammy has to do it.
106 for 4. So it's Emma Jones, 23 years of age. Played for the Trent Rockets in the past, but this is her first season with the Blaze, formerly with Surrey. Played over 50 T20 matches now. Best score of 88 not out in this format, and as Mick was alluding to, tends to score her runs quickly, and she's looking to get on with it early on here. Just managed to find the gap out in the deep, and it's gone for 4. She's bisected 2 fielders out there, and that's the impetus that you were looking for.
I didn't think it would come first ball though, but fair play to her. Look, I mean, it's just outside off stump, so there's a little bit of freedom in terms of being able to swing. But I wasn't quite expecting as quick as that. But this will be entertaining, however long it lasts.
Just spun away from Maddie Villiers out there. Deep mid-wicket, away for 4. 110 for 4. Glenn, 2 balls left in this over. This is cut away by Jones into the offside. She'll get a single. 111 for 4. And of course, if she's going to play that role, it means Georgia Elvis can... again, just make sure that she sticks around. No need to take any sort of over risky attempts, just to push on with things.
Yeah, they are the key pair now, especially with the inexperience of Prisha coming in next, and then Boyce, who hasn't played an awful lot of cricket. So, as I say, if these two bat for the majority of these last 7.1 overs, we will get 160 plus.
Blazer on Nelson. This has floated up there, nicely played by Georgia Elvis. Call Lucy Hyam the finisher. She's been getting the side along with Kirsty Gordon over the line in 1 or 2 matches this season. I don't like that though, Dave. I'd rather not bat at all than have to go out there. Yeah, she's
a liar.
She did.
She loves it.
She
does.
She's a liar. She does. 112 for 4 after 13 overs, 11 from that over.
You've got the perfect contrast here, haven't you? Because you've got Georgia, who I think hopefully is thinking, like you say, 1s, 2s, knock it around, be there for the last 2 or 3 overs. And I think Emma is just like, I'm going to whack it wherever I see it. And it's going to run hard between the wickets, as she already illustrated there. She pushed hard for 2, although it wasn't there. So you've got a real contrast in age and experience, and also the way they're going to go about these last 7 overs.
Maddie Villiers back for her 3rd over. Good economy rate. Only gone for 14 runs from her first 2. She's bowling to Georgia Elvis on 31. Hits this towards mid-off. Good attempt there throwing herself forward was Grace Thompson. Didn't quite carry, but it was a good attempt. It was a brave attempt, because they're the ones that can either trap your fingers in the ground or pop up and hit you in the face. Oh, swept away, and this should be the end of Georgia Elwys, and it is. And Maddie Villiers removes the former England international Georgia Elwys on her birthday, out for 31, attempting the reverse. And in the end, really, she just paddled it straight into the hands of the fielder. Georgia Elwys out for 31. Many thanks to Notts Director of Cricket Mick Newell for popping in. We'll have one or two more guests throughout the broadcast. But the Blaze losing their 5th wicket. And it's Georgia Elwys out, caught nicely by Johnson from the bowling of Villiers for 31, 112 for 5. And that 160 all of a sudden looks to be not out of the question, but going to take some getting. And in the 14th over, there is Prisha Thanawala, 19 years of age, made her Blaze debut earlier in the season in the Metro Bank competition, ironically away against Durham. Scored 47 at the top of the order, comes in here at number 7. 112 for 5. Another right-hander. First ball from Villiers outside the off stump. Thanawala goes to drive at it, doesn't get anything on it, and Rogers whips off a bail. Villiers in once more. Repeat. Outside the off stump. Youngster. Understandably, there'll be one or two butterflies there. Didn't get anything on that one. She does this time, turning it to leg. Scampers for a sharp single. Maddie Villiers unable just to gather the ball as cleanly as she would have wanted. Might have thrown at the sticks had she been able to. 113 for 5. One ball left in the 14th. Been playing for an hour. The Blaze 113 for 5. This will be helped onto the leg side by Emma Jones. Won't get a single. Another good over for the visitors. Very good over indeed. There's only one from it and a wicket. 113 for 5, the Blaze. After 14 overs. Georgia Elwys out for 31. Marie Kelly made 28. Charlie Knott 14. Tammy Beaumont 12. And Ella Claridge 11. They've all got starts. All got into double figures. All you would have to say, have left a few runs out there. Sophia Turner back into the attack. Durham have used 6 bowlers so far. Villiers, Johnson, Graham and Levick have all had 3 apiece. Turner and Glenn just 1 apiece. Sophia Turner's first over went for 7. We're rolling from the pavilion end to Prisha Thanawala. First ball pitched up, it's chipped to mid-wicket. The field set deep, so comfortable single taken. 114 for 5. Georgia Boyce, I'd imagine, will come in next. And Lucy Hyam, Grace Ballinger, Maria Andrews. Jones has 5. She'll help this again onto the leg side. In fact, she's got it past square leg and we'll get a boundary. Youngsters in the Bridgeford, stand on the Bridgeford Road side, enjoyed that one. Urged just to make some noise. They certainly did that. Just a little short of a length. Pulled away nicely. Jones on to 9 from just 4 balls faced. Next delivery, she goes for reverse and has got hold of that. And that's 4 more. Reverse sweep. Lifted it over the 2 fielders at short third and backward point, and away for 4. In fact, she met it as a low fall toss. Just helped to get the bat underneath and get the elevation she required. 122 for 5. Very good start of the 15th over here. Sophia Turner standing back at the end of her mark. She's got a long on and a long off out straight. Jones looking to hit square again. Pushes it out onto the cover fence for a single. Emily Windsor doing the fielding. 123 for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lou Bager, I think they call it in the game. Sanawana on strike, has 2. Again pushes it out as far as Emily Windsor. 124 for 5. Delivery again short enough for Jones just to go deep into a crease and pull it with all her might out to deep mid wicket. Single taken, so she'll keep strike. Another decent over there for the Blaze. 12 from it. 125 for 5. Jones has 15 now from just 7 balls. Abby Glenn changing ends. She got the wicket of Ella Claridge in her previous over. She'll be bowling to Emma Jones. This the first part of a double header here at Trent Bridge today. Notts Outlaws facing Durham. That one gets underway at 3 o'clock. Interesting from Glenn, she's going to go round the wicket to Jones. Gets the ball really crisply out along the ground to deep mid wicket for a single. Going to a definite plan there, Abby Glenn, but Emma Jones was waiting for it. She picked out her target area, gets a single. Glenn going to go back over the wicket to Thanawala. 3 from 5 balls faced for the youngster. Gets a full toss and again drills it into the offside. Will get a single if she can get there quickly. She had to put the dive in actually. Decent bit of fielding from Holly Armitage. Got it back quickly to the bowler who whipped off a bail. 127 for 5. Jones has 16. Really applying the firepower at this stage of the innings, and she'll help this one down to long leg, and that'll go for 4. Light on her feet. She quickly got across her stumps there and played that deliberately behind square on the leg side, down to long leg for 4. Good meaty connection. Very good indeed from Emma Jones. Ball is edged and she'll get 4 more. And nobody there in the slip cordon. Went very, very fine. and away for 4 runs. So Emma Jones just doing exactly what Mick Neal hoped she would. Go out there and play the attacking shots. Literally from the very first ball, which she hit for 4. She's on 24 from 10. On 35 for 5. This one's hit her nice and full. She's bowling round the wicket. Umpire Cross says not out. Dot ball there again. Jones was moving across the stumps, trying to get it away to leg. Big broad smile on her face. Final ball of the 16th over. Jones hits it to Armitage. An extra cover, and there's no run. We're through 16 overs. The Blaze 135 for 5. 10 from that over. Good over again for the home side. Had a message in from Peter Lee. Wants to say a big thank you to the Trent Bridge stewards. There'll be people listening around the ground can pass the message on. Last week, or the match against Yorkshire a week on Friday, this refers to. And Peter Lee says, Dave, could you please give a big thank you to all the Trent Bridge stewards who came to my rescue when I fell ill during the Blaze innings. So this is last Friday, the game here. Special thanks to Hayley and Joe who put me back together. That's regards from Peter. So if somebody can pass that on to the Trent Bridge stewards, and a special thanks to Hayley and Joe after Peter fell during the Blaze innings here against Yorkshire. So thank you, Peter, and well done again to everybody that went to his aid. Start of the 17th over. Thanawala gets a single down the ground to long on for a single. Moves to 5, 136 for 5. This is Heather Graham bowling her final over. In now and bowled. Emma Jones is bowled. Might just have taken the pace off a whisker there, and Jones has played round it. Losing the off bail. And Emma Jones gone for 24 from 13. And that's a really good knock. But once more, you think she's left a few out there. 5 fours in 24. All being bowled by Heather Graham in the 17th over. New bat will be Georgie Boyce. It's a 109th match in this format. Hails from Nottingham, of course, Georgia. That's a best of 96 not out in T20 cricket. Not going to be time to get anywhere near that, but she can get a punchy 20 or 25 here. Could be very useful indeed. 136 for 6. We're in the 17th over. First ball is nudged into the offside, gets a single. 137 for 6. Thanawala has 5, Boyce has 1. Hyam, Ballinger and Andrews. 3 remaining batters. Graham bowls, there's a wicket. Cut to backward point by Thanawala, and she's out for 5. Just losing their way a little bit now. The home side, Prisha Thanawala cutting this to backward point. Second wicket in the over for Heather Graham. Bess Heath, I think it was, with the catch. 137 for 7. comes Lucy Hyam. (145th T20 match for Lucy Hyam. Vastly experienced, dependable, all-rounder. Sure we'll see her action with her office a little later on. She'll certainly save any number of runs out on the boundary. But for now, it's the time to just maybe muscle a few runs quickly. (137 for 7), 2 balls left in Heather Graham's spell. 2 for 30, her figures. Balls now to Lucy Hyam, former teammate. Hyam plays this with a straight bat. Back along the carpet, fielded by Graham. And I think for the first time today, I can say in all honesty, we've got a little bit of sunshine. Clouds parting at last, and Trent Bridge bathed in a warm, bright glow for the first time as Graham ends her spell with a delivery driven up to mid-off by Lucy Hyam. Terrific over there for Heather Graham. That's really good stuff. She finishes with 2 for 30. 137 for 7 in that over. Just 2 runs conceded, 2 wickets picked up. So 3 overs left. Katie Levick to bowl the first of them. Been miserly up to this point. 3 overs, 1 for 16 for Levick, who was about to run in. In fact, she did begin running in, but the music was still playing, so Georgie Boyce backed away. And we go again. Now Boyce will clip this down the ground. I think they'll no, Lucy Hyam's going to come back for 2. She'll have to run hard. She'll get home. Good running by Hyam. Players need every single run they can get from here on in. That's good purposeful running. Ball played out to deep mid-wicket. A couple of fielders converging on it, and Holly Armitage decides she'll go over there and supplement that area. She's inside the ring at mid-wicket now with 2 fielders behind her, one of which is Heather Graham, who will field this at deep mid-wicket for a single. So that's 3 from the first 2 balls in this over. Brings Hyam down to face for the first time at the far end. 140 for 7. It's bat on ball. 3rd time in a row it's been played out towards the mid-wicket region. Single for Lucy Hyam. Two other matches going on. Lancashire Thunder 72 for 4 in the 12th away against Essex as Boyce nudges this into the offside, and Surrey facing Somerset at the Oval. Surrey women 18 for 1 in the 4th. Next ball nicely played by Boyce, just waited for it, knew there wasn't a lot of pace on the ball, backed away, kept her eye firmly on it and nosed it into the gap on the offside for a single. 142 for 7. 13 balls left in the innings. Well, they'd give for another 20 runs, but Hyam misses out on this one. End of the 18th over. 142 for 7. 5 from that over. Can they get up to 160? 142 for 7. Boyce has 5. Hyam a single. So Levick's finished. 4 overs, 1 for 21. Sophia Turner bowl her 3rd over, 2 for 19. Oh, full toss, and Boyce has got hold of that, but She made a really good connection and controlled it. Hit it straight to the fielder in the deep. Out at deep mid-wicket, just a single. 143 for 7. Blaze ideally would be looking for boundary in each of these last 2 overs. Maybe 3 boundaries in the last 2 overs. They're going to get up to 160. Next delivery. Oh, it's going down the leg side, and Hyams paddled it away. And I think she's only going to get a single. She is. Understand her playing it. I think everybody, the reactions there would be to go at it and go hard at it. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. It would have been a big leg side wide had she not. 144 for 7. Next ball is hit high up into the air, and that should be the end of Boyce. Oh, it's been spilled. Oh, my word. That's absolute dolly of a chance that's gone down there. Really simple offering for Grace Thompson at mid-off. Single taken, takes Boyce to 7, 145 for 7. That was the most simple of catches that she spilled. Another one hit towards her, and this time she's caught it. Much more difficult chance, and she's held it this time, and Lucy Hyam has to go. Well, it didn't cost too much in the end. Hyam out, caught Thompson, bowled Turner for 2. .145 for 8. Dropped the simple one. Took the much more difficult one. Here comes Grace Ballinger. Doesn't get too many opportunities with the bat for the Blaze in this format, understandably. She'll be on the strike. They did cross, but of course, last couple of years it's been a regulation. I think that most people in cricket wonder why it wasn't brought in many years before. Do away with the crossing, and the new one is on the strike. Unless, of course, it's a run out or the end of the over. 145 for 8. Ballinger, first left-hander, of course, we've seen in the Blaze lineup. Pushes this into the offside, gets a single. She's up and running. 146 for 8. There's one ball left in the over. 4 runs and a wicket from the first 5 balls. Can Boyce get this one away for runs? Oh, a single. It was a decent enough delivery on the stump, squared her up a little bit. Went to play it to leg, gets a single on the offside. So 147 for 8. Just 1 over left. Boyce has run a ball 8. Grace Ballinger, the non-striker's end, a single. Final over, likely to be bowled by Maddie Villiers, who actually bowled the first over of the innings. Only 2 to bowl out. Heather Graham, 4 overs, 2 for 30. Katie Levick, 4 overs, 1 for 21. Turner, 3 overs, 1 for 24. So here's Maddie Villiers. Floats this one up and hit beautifully. That's a lovely shot, and it'll go for 4 runs. And that's the way to start the over for Georgia Boyce. Beautiful cricket shot. Just advanced towards it and elegantly caressed it through the covers for 4. Very, very good indeed. That's one of the shots of the innings. 151 for 8. Boyce on to 12 from 9. There's Villiers. Oh, and she's got her this time. Boyce was advancing down once more, stranded in no man's land. Pace taken off, and it goes through, and it's a comfortable stumping, I think, for Rogers. Sometimes difficult to tell if her bail was clipped off, but I don't think it was. I think it was a stumping. Boyce confirmed, stumped by Rogers. First wicket for Maddie Villiers. In fact, a second wicket for Maddie Villiers. She got Georgia Elwys, of course. It's 151 for 9, and here on debut is Maria Andrews with 4 balls left in the innings. Grace Ballinger's walked 40 yards to meet and greet, pass on a word or two. It's a good bit of glove work actually, and we get the chance to just have a little look at it on the slow motion replay there. Nice from Mia Rogers, 151 for 8. It's a first target then for the Blaze. Make sure you bat through the innings. Although I think if she went 6-6-6 and then got out, then I think that would be acceptable. Unlikely. Maria Andrews, the live stream just showing her career figures. It's a Blaze debut. She has played a little bit in the second tier of the women's game for Derbyshire. She's come through the Blaze Academy. She gets an opportunity with the first team now, and this is down the leg side, so that's a wide. So that's very useful. She's part of the emerging players programme, Maria Andrews. So really good to see the youngsters coming into the side and getting their opportunity and getting a single here on debut. Maria Andrews just nudges it down the ground. Her first ball was a wide, that doesn't count. So the first one, that was a legal ball. She gets a single from it. Grace Ballinger's also 1 for 1. 1 from 1. 153 for 9. 3 balls left. 2 left-handers out there. Villiers round the crease. Ballinger with a big heave. Doesn't get anything on it. Grace Ballinger, incidentally, will be sharing commentary with me for the men's match a little later on. 153 for 9. And she'll be talking about this shot, which she's hit down the ground. Oh, she might be caught. She's picked out Emily Windsor, and she has. So they're all out. 153 all out. They didn't bat through the innings. 2 balls to go. Unbowled. Ballinger out for 1. Caught by Emily Windsor. That long off. Nice comfortable catch. Got her body behind it. Maddie Villiers finishing with 3 wickets. Maria Andrews ended up 1 not out. 153 all out. The Blaze. With 2 balls to spare. Georgia Elwes top scoring with 31. Marie Kelly 28. Emma Jones 24. And I think the Blaze would have liked another 10, 15, 20 more than that, but we all want more than we've got, I suppose. They've got to make do with 153 all out. Durham will require 154 to win. Maddie Villiers finishing with 3 for 21. Trudy Johnson 2 for 35 from 3 overs. Heather Graham 2 for 30 from 4, 1 apiece for Levick, Turner and Glenn. So there we are. That's the end of the Blaze innings. 153 all out. There'll be 7 or 8 minutes whilst they just quickly turn around, and as soon as the players are back out there, I'll be back with the commentary. Welcome back to Trent Bridge, everybody. As you can see, those of you watching on the live stream, at any rate, the umpires Gabby Brown and Gareth Cross back out in the middle, and the Durham run chase will be upon us in a moment or two. Durham set to score 154. The Blaze bowled out for 153. The unbeaten Blaze in this season's competition, 3 wins out of 3. Have it all to do here if they're going to defend that unbeaten crown. Durham really well in the field and with the ball after a pretty explosive start. 36 for the first wicket between Marie Kelly and Tammy Beaumont in just 3.5 overs, but then Beaumont fell for 12. Kelly was the aggressor early on, monopolised the scoring and the strike, made 28 from 15. Charlie Knott 14. Georgia Elwis on her 35th birthday made 31. Ella Claridge 10. Emma Jones punchy 24 from 13. Georgie Boyce made 12 from 10. But nobody else got double figures. Nobody better than Elwis's 31, and that's where the damage was done, really. Needed somebody to go on and post a score of some substance. What can they do with the ball? This is a very decent, much admired Durham top order, and they will certainly be licking their chops at the prospect of toppling the Blaze for the first time in this season's competition. Just very quickly before we get back underway here, 2 other matches going on. Chelmsford, Essex playing Lancashire Thunder. Lancashire 94 for 6 in the 15th over there, and in the match, current table toppers Surrey at home to Somerset. That started at 12 o'clock down at the Oval, and Surrey are 54 for 3 in the 9th over. Paige Schofield has just been dismissed for 28. 54 for 3 Surrey against Somerset. First against third. The Blaze with a game in hand on them are sandwiched in at second at the moment with 3 wins out of 3, 12 points. Can they defend 153? It's going to be Grace Ballinger to get us underway. Holly Armitage, the Durham skipper, on strike, and the first ball dragged, I think, into the pads of Holly Armitage, otherwise it would have gone down the leg side, and so we're up and running. So Holly Armitage and Maddie Villiers are the 2 Durham openers, both hugely experienced, both have had a little flirtation with England. Holly Armitage 6 England appearances, but not since 2024. Maddie Villiers likewise hasn't appeared for a country since 2024, played 22 times. Armitage plays this to mid-wicket, and there's no run. Armitage, 28 years of age, the Durham skipper, has a best of 97 in this format. Villiers hails from Essex, she's 27 and has a best of 85 not out. Grace Ballinger, who was last out in the Blaze innings, left arm, medium fast bowls, again turned to mid-wicket. That's very good work by Prisha Thanawala. That's 2 decent stops from her. The first one was hit crisply at her. Should have been a comfortable stop. This one she had to scamper quickly a yard and a half to her right to make the stop, and does that, and immediately Marie Kelly makes a little bit of a change, pulling Georgia Boyce out from slip and reinforcing that leg side field. 3 dots to Ballinger. Plenty of time for Durham, but just wonder how Armitage will go about this, and well, tried to be innovative, tried a little bit of a funky shot really, and wandered outside off stump and had her bat at a sort of crooked angle, trying to deflect it away. Didn't get anything on it. Ball swung appreciably, having gone past the bat. Nicely taken by Ella Claridge, who was struck at the non-striker's end. A fierce blow by Emma Jones. She seems to be okay. Here's Ballinger, 4 dots, bowls now, and Armitage will get this one away. Out to Lucy Hyam behind square, so just a single. That's a A win in a sense for the Blaze. 4 dots and then just a single. You fancied the big shot would have come and they'd be looking for a boundary. No, Maddie Villiers might just be content to have a little look at this last ball of the over from Ballinger. Again, Marie Kelly, who very good friends with Grace Ballinger, and both hail from Birmingham. Just having a little word with a bowler. The 2 outer behind square on the leg side. So I don't think this is going to be pitched up by Grace. Let's have a little look. In fact, it is, and it is still deflected out there again to Lucy Hyam. So just 2 runs from that over, and that's a decent start for the Blaze. And they're looking to try and keep Durham well behind the 8 ball for as long as they possibly can, and hope that a little bit of scoreboard pressure might kick in as well. 2 without loss. Looks as if Charlie Knott is... No, it's Georgia Elwis, beg your pardon. Being asked to take the second over. Birthday girl, top scored in the Blaze innings with 31. Should be bowling to Maddie Villiers. She actually has 148 wickets in this format, Georgia Elwis, so milestone not too far away if she can pick up a couple of wickets. There is Elwis then to bowl to Villiers. Picks out Thanawala at mid-on, and there's no prospect of a single. Elwis in again. Nice looking shot. Oh, it's got through the ring. Got through the ring and away for 4. Charlie Knott at extra cover. Flung herself to her left. Not sure how close to the ball she was, but it's gone for 4 nonetheless. It's a good attempt from Knott. She was down quickly. Dive full length, but the ball away from her. Shot from Villiers, who's on 5. Elwis in again and bowls, and this time it's hit straight to Charlie Knott. Came right off the very bottom of the bat, as you could probably hear. Elwis bowls to Villiers, turns this gently onto the leg side. That's an easy single. Nobody there preventing one, so Durham moved to 7 without loss in the second over. Their target is 154. Elwis now to Armitage, the Durham captain. She will turn it to mid-wicket gently for a single. Field set deep there. There's 2 fielders out on the leg side for Holly Armitage. 2 inside the ring are at mid-off and short fine. Now square leg comes up for Villiers. Just chip this uppishly. Doesn't quite carry all the way to Boyce at mid-off, and the end of the over. 6 from it, 8 without loss. Same stage with Marie Kelly going like a train. The Blaze had 21 on the board. Looks like it's going to be Grace Ballinger to continue. Conditions improving all the time. The crowd swelling all the time. The home side would like to get them involved here. Ballinger bowls, ooh, and chopped down into the ground. Bounced up for keeper Claridge. Pick up a wicket or two and a little bit of crowd involvement, crowd noise, getting behind them, supporting the team noisily can play tricks in the minds of the visitors. That's what they'll be hoping anyway. Durham 8 without loss. Armitage face 7 balls now, just 2 not out. Next one she's hit over the offside ring and away for 4. Or have I gone early on that? There might just be the chance for it to be dragged back. There will. It's a really good bit of fielding. I'm going to push hard and come back for 3. So a run saved. And it's Marie Kelly, the captain, leading by example. Really good work out there. And they do get 3. In fact, I don't... Did get the 3rd, 11 without loss. Here comes Ballinger, ponytail flopping side to side as she runs in. This is drilled up to mid-off. Marie Kelly with the stop. It's actually Emma Jones with that lovely bit of fielding from the previous ball. Jones put the hammer down right at the back end of the Blaze innings, and quick fire 24, getting them up and over 150. There's Ballinger in again, hit down the ground for 4, just to the left of Boyce. Not close enough for the dive. That was powerfully struck from Maddie Villiers. Innings just starting to get a little bit of momentum right now. The Blaze need a wicket. Fiercely struck shot. Durham up to 15. We're in the 3rd over. At Trent Bridge, in again to Maddie Villiers. He'll push this into the offside. Emma Jones in nicely to field. Went down on one knee to stop the ball, and she did really well there because she was in a position instantly to throw the ball. They tried to steal a single. Very good sliding stop, but the wherewithal to make sure she could fire at the stumps should the need arise. 15 without loss. Can Ballinger get out of this over with just a dot or a 1 here from the last ball? And it's hit over the head of Boyce at mid-on. She's going to hair after it. They'll come back for 2. Wasn't cleanly struck. Couple of runs, so 17 without loss. 9 coming from that over, same stage. The Blaze had 31 on the board. Durham 17 without loss. Holly Armitage 5 from 8. Maddie Villiers 12 from 10. Fourth over will be bowled by Charlie Knott, the Australian. As best in this format of 4 for 23. Something along those lines would be very acceptable today. She's going to play a major role, you fancy, if the Blaze are going to defend 153. So what's she got? 5 on the leg side, 2 out, 3 inside the circle. Round the wicket with her off breaks. Pitched up. Oh, and a little scoop from Armitage. She's going to get a couple of runs. Grace Ballinger chasing it down to 3rd. 19 without loss. Not now to the Durham captain, Armitage. Again, she's just helped it behind square on the offside. Ballinger fields again, single this time. 20 without loss. Brings Maddie Villiers back onto strike. An arc of 4 on the offside, nobody out. Too deep on the leg side. Jones and Tammy Beaumont. Don't think Beaumont's going to be able to get round there and prevent this one from going for 4. She won't. 4 runs. It's a nice clean hit indeed from Maddie Villiers. It's a lovely pick-up. Beaumont going back towards deep mid-wicket. It's not in again, outside the off-stump, hit down the ground this time, straight back over the bowler's head. Should be chased down by Georgie Boyce, and is. 2 more to the tally. Maddie Villiers out of the traps quickly here. She's on to 18 from 12, 26 without loss. Just need one of these to go their way at the minute. The Blaze, again, it's pulled in the air, but will fall short of Tammy Beaumont. Takes it on the bounce. Just a single. 27 without loss. Knott's final delivery of the 4th over. It's played through mid-wicket by Armitage, who'll keep the strike. And as the over comes to an end, 11 from it, 28 without loss, Durham. The Blaze made 153. Georgia Elwes top scoring with 31. So 2 overs from Grace Ballinger from the far end, going for 11 runs. I think we're going to get a change. It's going to be Georgia Elwes. First over went for just 6. Plays hunting for wickets here. Here's Elwes in, and nice work from Ella Claridge there. Armitage hadn't strayed out of her crease, but Claridge, quick as a flash, had a bail off there. Really good work by the keeper. Always taking the pace off from the first delivery. Second one, similar, just played up to mid-off, and there's no run. So 2 dots. Armitage 9 from 13. The Durham skipper. Nearing 3,500 runs in this format. Down the leg side, oh, that's going to be 5 wides. We saw Durham guilty of that on a couple of occasions. And now Georgia Elwes has fired one. Quickest ball she's sent down by some distance. But no chance for Ella Claridge. Absolutely no chance. Speared down the leg side for a little bit of a gift for the visitors. 5 to the tally. 33 without loss. Here comes Elwes again. Bowls. Armitage, you sense, grateful to get a little bit of bat on that one and turn it away on the leg side. Bring Villiers back onto strike. If you're going through a little bit of a tough time personally out there, you've just got to ride it for as long as you can. Rotate the strike, keep rotating the strike, and just wait for the good times to come back again. 34 without loss. Villiers has 19. Georgia Elwes bowls to it, and this one's hit in the air but won't go all the way down the ground to Georgie Boyce. Has to come racing in from the long on fence to restrict them to 1, which she does. 35 without loss. And this already looking to be a hugely profitable power play at this stage for Durham. Still 8 balls left in it. Elwes Bowls again. This time it is hit down the ground. They brought Boyce up after the previous ball, and it's hit crisply down the ground past her for 4 by Ollie Armitage. And the good times have come back for the Durham skipper. It's a shot of some conviction. Durham certainly with their noses in front at the moment in this contest as Elwes bowls, and that's into the pads of Ollie Armitage. And that's the end of the over. 39 without loss. 11 from that over. The 5 wides doing the bulk of the damage there. Villiers has 20 from 14. Armitage with that boundary 14 from 16. And if the Blaze are to hang on to their undefeated run in this season's competition, they need a wicket sooner rather than later, and it's going to be Lucy Hyam has to try and provide it. Off spinner. She'll just quietly and carefully go about her work here. Shouldn't be too many freebies on offer. Maddie Villiers on 20. Will have faced her countless times before. Iron bowls, backs away, turns it gently onto the leg side, out to Tamsin Tilly Beaumont. Single taken. 40 without loss. This is the final power play over. Lucy Hyam being very deliberate in her field setting. Bowls now to Armitage, chops it into the offside. There's no chance of a run there. Kelly the skipper with the stop. Next ball is hit crisply up to Knott at mid-on. Some experienced fielders there. Knott at mid-on. Elwes well inside the circle at mid-wicket. Kelly's found herself at extra cover. Iron bowls again. Chopped all back down the ground for 4. Went like a shell past Lucy Hyam. Dropped to the ground, but by then it was beyond it. Gosh, that was powerfully struck by Ollie Armitage, who after a slow start is now catching up. Her strike rate improving all the time. Second boundary in quick time. 18 from 19 now for Armitage. Hyam to bowl to her again. She's taken the aerial route this time out onto the leg side, and again it's beaten Beaumont just to the left of Tammy. And away for 4 more. And Durham up to 48 without loss. Won't be any panicking done yet. Still more than 100 required. But this has been a very, very good power play for Durham. 1 ball left in it. 48 without loss. And this is hit towards and over Charlie Knott for 4. 3 fours in a row to conclude that over. And the power play finishes with Durham 52 without loss. Armitage 26. She's gone past Maddie Villiers now, who's on 21. That one only just cleared Charlie Knott on the discs at mid-on. Away for 4. That over going for 13. It finished with 3 boundaries. So the power play over. Marie Kelly can now offer a little bit of protection to her debutant, Maria Andrews. Slow left arm spinner. She's going to be bowling from the Stuart Broad end to Maddie Villiers, who's on 21. First ball is cut into the offside. Out to Emma Jones, just a single. Ooh. She's had some extra breakfast cereal there, Emma Jones. A powerful throw over the top of Claridge, but Ballinger was there to back up. 53 without loss. Now Andrews to Armitage. Cut into the offside, fielded by Elwis. There's no run. So 101 now required. 13 overs and 4 balls left in the innings. Next ball is hit along the ground. Down to long on for a single. 54 without loss. Maddie Villiers on 22, and she's got underneath this, pulling it out towards deep mid-wicket, but nicely fielded by Charlie Knott. They'll come back for 2. And all sorts of possibilities there when she went to play that big shot. Taking the aerial route, could she pick out one of the fielders either at deep mid-wicket or at long on, or would she get enough on it to go all the way for 6? In the end, it just landed shy of the fielder. She's gone again, but drags this to mid-wicket. Interesting over this, because they are looking to take down Maria Andrews, but the bowler holding her nerve here. 56 without loss. Final ball of the 7th over. Tosses it up again, and there'll be another single. I fancy it should only be 1. Down the ground to Knott, and 5 coming from it. That's perfectly acceptable. Maria Andrews will feel nicely at home now, nicely bedded in to this contest. 57 without loss. Looks like Ella Claridge is going to be standing back for the next over. She's got rid of the helmet. Perhaps heard the announcement. Emma Jones just sorting the hair out. She's going to be into the attack to bowl the 8th over. Right arm medium fast. Maddie Villiers at the other end. 57 on the board for Durham. So Claridge, the keeper, standing a respectful distance back. Here's Emma Jones. Bowls, and this is slammed down the ground for 4. A dive from Kelly. It was just a little too wide there at mid-on. Maybe needs to get a bit straighter. Wise after the event. 4 more. 61 without loss. Villiers 25 from 19. Here comes Jones again, her second ball, 61 without loss. Should be able to field this one herself, she can. Okay. 1 or 2 in the crowd, slightly deceived. It was never a catch, it was it down into the ground, and then she attempted to take it on the bounce, unable to quite hold it cleanly. But a dot ball nonetheless. Emily Windsor, Bess Heath listed to come in as the next 2. Heather Graham in the middle order. Not the Blaze, can they get there without much further damage? But this is hammered away through the covers by Villiers, who becomes the top scorer in the game with this extra cover boundary. Moving to 33 from 22. Second boundary and 3 balls off this over. And at the moment, Durham miles ahead. 65 without loss. Fabulous opening partnership here. Villiers on strike. Jones bowls to her. It's played deliberately into the cover region. Grace Ballinger fields, and there's no run. The two other matches going on at the moment. Lancashire Thunder made 128 for 8 from their 20 overs at Chelmsford against Essex. A match that only began at midday, 101 for 4 after 16 against Somerset. Durham 65 without loss. Jones bowls and attempted sweep, I think, from Villiers. Didn't make a successful job of that one. Ball struck the pad and then looped up in the air. No runs occurring. 65 without loss. One ball left in an over that's already gone for 8. Can the Blaze get the breakthrough? Through Emma Jones, bowling to Villiers. Playing beautifully. Short, it's mistimed down to long leg for a single. So 9 from the over. 66 without loss. Same stage. The Blaze had 80, so they were going along nicely in terms of runs, but then the loss of those early wickets caught up with them. They were 80 for 3. They're very soon 106 for 4, 112 for 5, and then 2 wickets went down in quick succession. 136 for 6, 137 for 7. Ended up getting 153. Durham still with 88 more required from 72 balls. There is a second over for Maria Andrews, left arm spinner. Bowls now and eased into the offside by Villiers for a 35th run. Blaze have used 6 bowlers up to this point. Andrews to Armitage. Again knows that long on is posted out in the deep, so just helps it down the ground for another single. 68 without loss. Andrews bowls, and there should be more here because she's managed to find that gap at deep mid wicket, and it does go for 4. Threaded the gap there between Knott and Beaumont, hit with enough force to bisect the pair of them for 4. And Durham into the 70s. 72 without loss, halfway through the 9th over. Villiers on 39. Terrific innings here, and she's missed that one. There's an appeal from Ella Claridge behind the stumps. Bowler joined in a little bit, but umpire Gabby Brown not seeing anything untoward. 72 without loss. It's another dot ball played back to the bowler. Can they build pressure this way with a few dots? Been good stuff from Andrews. He's bowled 11 balls so far, gone for 11 runs only. Leaked just the one boundary. Can she get out of this over? Left arm spinner bowls. I don't think she can because it's been hit fearfully hard down the ground for 4. And Durham are just about halfway to their total already. 76 on the board. After 9 overs, they need 78 more. Still with all 10 wickets in the hutch. Villiers on 43. Armitage has not seen much of a strike recently, is on 28. A bit of a challenge for Marie Kelly and her troops here. Off the back of that win at Edgbaston on last Wednesday. Kirsty Gordon skippering the two sides, the sides for the first 2 matches in this competition. Now away with Scotland, with Catherine and Sarah Bryce. 76 without loss. Not to bowl a second over to Armitage. She likes that shot, just putting a foot to the pitch of the ball, helping it down the ground for a single. Marie Kelly finding herself on the long on fence, restricts them to a single, and now it is absolutely halfway. Durham 77 on the board and 77 needed. Another single taken by Villiers. In fact, whoa, there was a little bit of a slip there from Villiers. She'll come back for two, but she lost her footing at this end. She did really well to stop herself tumbling to the ground, and that would have caused immense problems because Armitage was already hearing back. 79 without loss. Villiers on to 45. Not. Floats it up there, and again it's slammed back over her head by Maddie Villiers. Marie Kelly does really well though to keep them to one. All along I fancied that was going to find the rope, but good work from the Blaze captain. 80 without loss. Likely to be a drinks break after this over, and the Blaze might be grateful just to get together, formulate some sort of plan as the next ball is just caressed into the covers for a single. 81 without loss. Blaze have four up inside the ring on the offside. Final ball of the overs, swept away behind square. Emma Jones with a sliding stop does really well. Villiers on to 47, 82 without loss. Very good this from Durham. Come out and approach this run chase in a very positive manner. Not bowls. Armitage pushes it back to the bowler, makes a sprawling stop, and at the halfway stage 82 on the board. Blaze did have 91 at the same stage, but fell away in the second half of the innings. It's just the two Durham openers who are taking a drink on board. Blaze quickly getting round and taking their fielding positions to continue. Going to be Emma Jones once more. First over went for 9 from this Radcliffe Road end. Now she's going to be bowling from the Pavilion end, the Stewart Broad end. How's your Sunday going if you're just joining us? Blaze losing the toss. Up against it here as Emma Jones starts her second over, the leg side wide. Blaze winning their first 3 matches, but that's very much under threat here. Put into bat, they could only make 153. They were bowled out with 2 balls of the innings left. Georgia Elwes top scored with just 31. This has helped out towards Beaumont. And what a catch that is by Tammy Beaumont! Sensational catch! Really, really top-notch effort. Maddie Villiers can only shrug and make her way off the field. That is astonishing stuff from the former England international. Out there on the deep mid-wicket fence. Emma Jones has been pulled hard by Villiers, and the only question was it going to be 4 or 6, but Tammy Beaumont says, hang on a second, and a full-length dive in mid-air, and she's plucked out a sensational catch. Don't think we can see that too many times on the replays. It's as many angles of that as we've got. I think anybody would enjoy. Great effort from Beaumont, and just look at the pictures there of how excited she is as she comes up for air with the ball. Lost her sunglasses in the process, but that's a terrific catch, ending a fabulous opening partnership of 83. New bat is Emily Windsor. Not a bad time to come to the crease with your side. 83 for 1, requiring 71 from 59. Very talented, skillful player, Emily Windsor. Hails from the south coast. Used to play with the Southern Vipers. Used to do a bit for BBC Radio as well. Down there on Solent Sport. She's on strike. Emma Jones into bowl, and Windsor trying to play an uppercut to a shortish ball. One for the over, says Gabby Brown. In itself, that one wicket isn't going to halt the momentum, but you just hope that the Blaze fielders, bowlers will take something from that. Still believe Durham still overwhelming favourites, you'd imagine, from here to get home. Next ball sees again Windsor playing an extravagant looking shot to a ball that she doesn't in the end lay a bat on. She was trying to cut it away, I think, or guide it away towards that slice area. Down at third. Maria Andrews up inside the circle at short third. Charlie Knott on the fence behind it. Emma Jones in once more. Bowls it into the offside. Falls short of Elwys at extra cover. Doesn't know where it's gone. She's sat on it and smiles to everybody when she eventually locates it. 83 for 1. Extraordinary catch from Beaumont. Here comes Jones once more to bowl to Emily Windsor. Yet to score. Oh, Boulder! Off stump out the ground. 2 in the over for Emma Jones. Not saying in cricket, 1 brings 2 in terms of wickets, and Emma Jones has brought that into play here. Absolutely delighted. Just a 4-ball duck on her return to Trent Bridge for Emily Windsor, former Trent Rockets player. 83 for 2. Keep on coming. Looks like it's going to be Bess Heath to take her place out in the middle. Chesterfield born Bess. 8 England caps spread across ODIs and T20s, 4 of each. Approaching 2,500 runs in this format. Best of 61. Fabulous over so far from Emma Jones. 1 ball left in it. 1 run. 2 wickets. .83 for 2. Heath to face her first ball. She cuts it away into the offside. Work for Charlie Knott to do. She gets there quickly and has a good arm. Just a single from it. So that's by some distance the best over of the innings for the Blaze. Both in terms of only going for 2 runs the first over. Bowled by Grace Ballinger only went for 2, but the 2 wickets as well. 83 for 2 after 11. 84 for 2 after 11, I beg your pardon. So the Blaze just breathing a little bit of life back into the contest. 70 required from 9 overs. Kelly turning back to Lucy Hyam, whose first over went for 13. Holly Armitage hitting 3 consecutive boundaries to conclude that over. She's still out there on 30. She's at the non-striker's end. It'll be Bess Heath on strike. There is Hyam, and a reverse. Sort of paddled away, helped away. Ballinger's after it. Don't think she's going to get there. No, it'll run away for 4. So a confident start by Bess Heath. Quickly going to the unorthodox. Turning it into a left-handed shot. Running it away for 4 from the first ball of the over, which is always a win for the batting side. So Kelly and Hyam get together and just try and construct some sort of field setting that can try and dry up that particular shot. Then goes Hyam again. Balls to Heath, and she'll hit this to deep mid-wicket. And here comes Charlie Knott. She's quickly to the ball. Yeah, it's a good decision to bail out of that second run, because Knott very quickly fired it back into Hyam at the non-striker's end. Only ever a single. 89 for 2. Players have won many matches from this situation in the past, and it's that sort of muscle memory that might just kick in here. Another single taken. 90 for 2. Durham needs 64 from 51. Just need to build up the number of dots and deliveries that only go for a single. Hyam bowls on. This is drilled back. Took the aerial route straight down the ground for 4. It's those that they don't need too many of. Heath on the offensive very much from the start here. Already into double figures, Bess Heath. 10 from 4. Armitage 31 from 28. And Lucy Hyam's going to go round the wicket. 94 for 2. Here comes the spinner. Fires this one in, and again they'll comfortably come back for 2. It's played sort of a dead weight pace, so she could manipulate it towards deep mid-wicket, get the ball really just to sort of reach only 2/3 of the way to the boundary. It meant that both Beaumont and Kelly had got a long way to run to get to the ball. Came back for 2. Good response from Hyam. The dot ball to end the over. 96 for 2, so 12 from that over. Still actually 5 behind where the Blaze were at a comparable time. They were 101 for 3 at this stage. I feel because of those 8 wickets in hand that Durham are somewhat ahead, but when you look at that, it's the fact they have got those 8 wickets in hand. But we saw how easily wickets could be squandered in the Blaze innings. This time there's the added factor, the little bit of scoreboard pressure. Grace Ballinger's coming back into the attack. 2 overs, none for 11. And the Blaze would gladly take another over from Grace that'd only go for 5 or 6. Ideally, she's looking for wickets here. Armitage set on 31 now from 28. Just trying to bat through the innings clearly. Ballinger round the wicket. Left armour bowls a delivery that is eventually called as a wide. I think it went on the full all the way through to Ella Claridge. Both umpires had a little look at each other, and I think everybody was just wondering and waiting, and then Gabby Brown stretched her arms out, so the over hasn't really yet begun. 6 balls to go. Ballinger bowls, hit into the offside, no run. Elwis with the stop. According to Notts Director of Cricket Mick Newell that was with us earlier. There's a birthday cake waiting for Georgia when the match is done. 97 for 2. And there's Ballinger round the wicket again, and good work. Ooh, stop from Claridge. Thought she'd whipped off a bail there. Not entirely sure that Armitage had gone anywhere, but what's happening here? She got one on the finger end. No, she was injured earlier when batting. She's just waiting for... No, she's getting a bit of treatment here, Ella Claridge. So a slight cessation in play. 97 for 2 Durham in the 13th over. Claridge, when she was batting, I think it was Emma Jones, drilled one straight back at her and went through for the run, but she had to have a bit of treatment. Looked like maybe her wrist, hand, thumb, wrist, somewhere. But she's taken one there, and just had to have a little bit of reassurance and a little bit of treatment from the physio. Back out there now, so we'll be back underway in just a second. Surrey finished up with 153 for 5 against Somerset. So here the Blaze made 153. Down at the Oval, Surrey made 153, but 153 for 5. Essex women are 33 without loss after 4 overs at home to Lancashire Thunder. The Thunder made 128 for 8. They're the other women's matches going on at the moment. Full programme of men's fixtures this afternoon. 97 for 2. Ballinger bowls. Turned to leg by Armitage, and she'll get a single. England Lions have been playing South Africa A as well, and they have been beaten by 8 wickets. Match played down at Beckenham. So South Africa 8 winning that series by 2 matches to 0. Here Ballinger bowls, cut to backward point, fielded by Boyce, and there's no run. Crowd well aware that it's only going to be wickets that's going to turn this around, and they could come via something unexpectedly brilliant like Beaumont's catch, or via a build-up of pressure with dot balls. Ballinger in again, bowls, and that's off the outside edge. It'll run away towards the fence down here. Needs a dive, needs a stop. Well done by Maria Andrews. They are going to run for 3 though. She saved a single. Ball was always gathering pace, getting away from her. Maria Andrews did well there. But that's the 100 up for Durham. 101 for 2. They're 2/3 of the way there. They need 53 from 43. Armitage under 32. I beg your pardon, Heath under 15. Armitage back on strike on 32. They did get 3. Armitage to face Ballinger. He'll pull this one away onto the leg side, and they'll only get a single. So that's the end of the over. 102 for 2. Began with a wide. So Grace Ballinger pulled that one back a little bit there. 102 for 2. She's 3 overs, none for 17. All the other bowlers used have had 2 overs apiece. Elwes, Knott, Hyam, Andrews and Emma Jones. Jones has 2 overs, 2 for 11, so no surprise that Marie Kelly's asking Emma to come back and have another over. Last over she bowled was a really special one, figures of 2 for 2. If you do something similar here, I think that would perhaps get the game right back on a level footing. As it is, you still feel the visitors in the box seat. Jones bowls down the leg side. She's begun with a wide. (103 for 2). Armitage just content to stay there and bat deep, guiding her side to the finishing line. 33 from 32. Chops us into the offside. There's no run. Georgia Boyce dropping down to her left to prevent the boundary. It was a stop that needed making. Nicely executed. 103 for 2. Mottled sky now. Sun forcing a path through the clouds as this is pushed out as far as Lucy Hyam on the offside fence, and they get another single. Still to come, Heather Graham, Mia Rogers, Grace Thompson, Sophia Turner, Trudy Johnson, Abby Glenn and Katie Levick. I'd imagine the last 4 or 5 of those from this situation will be hoping they don't even have to put their pads on. There's Emma Jones into Heath, who backed away. Again, I think she was trying to play an uppercut shot, but it was just threw her quickly and into the gloves of Claridge. Another dot ball. Jones wearing 88. Past umpire cross, bowls, and there it is, lifted up and over. Previous ball was obviously just a rehearsal for the shot that she was looking for. This time she executed it beautifully. Lifted it up and over Maria Andrews. No protection down there on the third fence, and away for 4. Time, I think, to go hunting those stumps, Emma Jones. Knocked out the off stump of Emily Windsor. That one was just a little too short. 108 for 2. Heath has raised to 19. And she's going to get more here with a powerful blow down the ground. Ball just looked to have plugged, but it's got enough forward momentum just to topple over the rope before Marie Kelly can get there. And suddenly this over's got away from Emma Jones and the Blaze. It's a really powerful blow struck by Bess Heath, who's into the 20s. 23 from 11. It's her 4th 4. Don't need much more than a run of ball from here on in. Durham. 1 ball left in the 14th. Jones bowls now, and that's missed and goes through to the keeper. Same stage, the Blaze had 113 on the board. In fact, they were 113 for 5. Durham 112 for 2. Durham openers putting 83 on for the first wicket before they were parted in the 11th over by Emma Jones, who then made it 2 wickets in 3 balls, 2 wickets in 4 balls, in fact, dismissing Emily Windsor. In the same over, there's Maria Andrews, the spinner. 2 overs, none for 15. Bowls a ball that Armitage misses out on to play the slog sweep. Next ball helped out to deep mid-wicket. Beaumont doing the fielding, just a single. 113 for 2. Heath on 23. She's got hold of this one. Beaumont's out there, jumps and can't reach it, and it's gone for 6. First 6 of the match, hit by Bess Heath. Beaumont's already pulled off one spectacular catch on that boundary. This one just a little too high for it. It's probably just a little too high for, I don't know, who's the tallest cricketer you can think of? Joel Garner, Will Jefferson. No chance for Tammy Beaumont. Sails into the seats for 6. 119 for 2. Next ball pulled again in that direction, and that's going to find the gap, this time to the right of Tammy. 4 more. You fancy, if they're not quite in the finishing straight, they're certainly coming round the final bend here, Durham. 123 for 2. They need 31 now from 32. 2 balls left in this over. First target, get out of this over. Little push into the offside, that was good. Just took the pace off it a little bit. Maria Andrews. No real surprise that the experienced Heath is coming after the Blaze debutant here. That's a good comeback. Just a single, 124 for 2. So 12 from the over. Considering there's a 6 and a 4 in the middle of it, that's okay for Maria Andrews. 3 overs for 27. That's more than acceptable. It's just the actual timing of the 6 and the 4 there. Those 10 runs is very quickly got Durham back onto just requiring a run a ball from the last 30 deliveries. Back to Charlie Knott again, 2 overs for 17 for the Aussie. It's always a fine balancing act for captains when a run a ball is required. Do you take the gamble and bring somebody else up inside the ring just to try and stop the singles being taken, or do you put the high value? This is hit up into the air, and I think it's going to land safe. You put the high value on the boundaries and make sure you've got the extra player out there. Taking 2 runs here, just miss hit that really, Heath. Drops it between Boyce and Kelly. Over the bowler's head for 2. 126 for 2. Now 28 required from 29. Not bowls. Now then, is this into Maria Kelly's hands? It is! She put a couple down the other day, but she's comfortably taken that one, Marie Kelly, and Heath goes. Might actually be the match-winning innings, 36 from 18 for Bess Heath, but she's gone. She won't be there to get her side over the finishing line. It's a wicket for Charlie Knott. Good catch from Marie Kelly. 126 for 3. Nicely judged from Marie Kelly. I think she was 2 out of 4 at Edgbaston the other day. Not often Marie Kelly puts many down. Got her side the win on Wednesday. This will be, I think, even more dramatic if they were to win from here. But Durham still required 28 from 28. Here comes Heather Graham. Wicket for Charlie Knott. So there's going to be a little bit of a Southern Hemisphere tussle going on here. Queenslander to bowl to a Western Australian. 126 for 3. That wicket coming in the 16th over. Heather Graham, former Blaze player, of course. 30 years of age now, right-hander. Keeper standing up, Charlie Knott to bowl to it. She's chopped this to backward point. Tumbling stop by Grace Ballinger, but they can still get through for a single. Both went immediately. 27 required from 27. thing Holly Armitage cannot do now is get herself out and get a middle and lower order in a spot of trouble. She's played very nicely, judged this beautifully up to this point, pushes this down the ground to the opposite captain, Marie Kelly. She's 36 from 37, Armitage. She had that little spell where she hit Lucy Hyam for 3 consecutive boundaries, but either side of that she's been very watchful and careful and cautious, and put a high price on her wicket, rightfully so. Another single taken down the ground to Kelly by Graham, 129 for 3. 25 from 25. That's a good over for the Blaze. Could do with another wicket. Not to bowl to Armitage. Chops this again nicely between backward point and short third, and they come back for 2. 131 for 3. Still bizarrely haven't overtaken the Blaze at any stage in this innings. They've always been a run or two behind. Blaze were 4 runs better off at this stage. 23 required from 24. So Elwes back into the attack. 2 overs, none for 17. Last time she came back, start of her second over, she began with 5 leg side wides. Certainly don't need that right now. She's bowling to Heather Graham. Three on the offside, either just in front of square or just behind in a little pack. Always pace off, and Graham plays it back to it. 23 from 23. 131 for 3. And again comes Georgia Elwes from the pavilion end. Bowls to Heather Graham, chips this to the left of Hyam at mid-wicket. Out to Beaumont. Just a single. 22 required from 22. $132 for 3. Holly Armitage, run a ball 38, is on strike. In comes Graham to bowl to her now. And again, she's chipped this up in the air, down the ground to Charlie Knott at long on. Another single. I think that's all she's looking for at the moment, Holly Armitage. Just wonder if can bring another one up. Dare risk it. At this rate, they're going to get home a run a ball. Graham on 3, on strike. Again, she's hit this one. Now there's no, not quite. Again, it falls short of Knott at long on. So that's 2 in a row, reaching the long on fielder. Just bouncing once, not quite carrying all the way. 134 for 3. Good over so far from Elwes. 3 singles from 4 balls. Needs a wicket. Bowls now. Another single. Armitage strokes it into the offside. No interest in looking for a second. Just knows what needs to be done. 135 for 3. Heather Graham on strike. Well, she just chip this to mid or long on and take another single? No, she let it back to the bowler. Well fielded by Elwes and gets out the over. 4 singles from it. It's good stuff from Georgia. 135 for 3. 19 required from 18. This could be the biggest over of the match. Might not, but could be the biggest over of the match if Charlie Knott could get a wicket or two here, or just keep them to maybe no more than 3 or 4 runs. Might just put a little bit of pressure on the back end. 135 for 3, 19 required from 3 overs. It should be Durham's game comfortably. Again, the leg side field's allowing for the single. Oh, she's chopped down on this one. Armitage looking to play against the spin there, looking to push it into the offside. Ball turned back, chopped down on it, and Claridge quickly round to field. 135 for 3. So now the field changes, sort of in acknowledgement of what she was trying to do there. Armitage, she can lift it over the ring. There's nobody out on the cover boundary. Oh, it's a high full toss that is pulled away onto the leg side. Needs to be fielded and is by Beaumont, and come back for 2. So 2 balls in, 2 runs in the over. Came a charging there, Armitage, making it into a high full toss. Now the field has changed again. Elvis coming up from long off into the ring at mid off. Hyam goes out onto the offside fence. Gone for the reverse and gets it. Little paddle on it down the leg side as she switches round into a lefty, and it runs away for 4. On 41 for 3. It's almost like a pin pricking a bubble there. The ground fell silent for a moment. DJ acknowledging that. A little blast of music, but that was an important boundary. Followed up by a single down the ground from Armitage. Moves to 47. Joint top scorer in the game now. Maddie Villiers made 47 as well. 142 for 3, 12 required from 14. 2 big blows would win it for Durham. There's not. Heather Graham, who's on 4. She's pushes into the offside. Fielded by Boyce, and there's no run. 12 required from 13. Not to finish. 4 overs so far, gone for 1 for 31. Tosses it up there now, and hit needs to be stopped, and will. In comes the throw, and they get home safely. Georgia Elvis with a good stop and throw, but they take a single, so 11 required from 2 overs. Not finishes 4 overs with figures of 1 for 32. .143 for 3. So time for a hero, certainly as far as the Blaze are concerned, if they're to make it 4 wins out of 4. Something rather dramatic has got to happen here. Grace Ballinger to bowl the 19th over. It's been very good today, 3 overs, none for 17. Can she get something in that end column in this over? 143 for 3. Just wonder who's going to get the last over. Maybe Georgia Elvis or Emma Jones. They've both had 3. Will it get to the last over? 143 for 3. Durham require 11 from 12 balls. Heather Graham on strike on 5. I think we're ready to go, but Marie Kelly's just taken an extra moment just to go back and have a word with Grace Ballinger. Still the 5 inside the ring, 3 on the offside, 2 on the leg. There comes Ballinger then, left arm round the wicket. Bowling to Heather Graham. Just drops it down on the ground, and they scamper for a run. It went too far away from Claridge and not close enough to Ballinger for either of them to have a sniff of a run out. They take a single. 144 for 3. So Holly Armitage needs 3 for a half century. 144 for 3. Ballinger to bowl to the Durham captain. Just quickly into position to try and reverse that, and in the end just paddles it round the corner for a single. 145 for 3. 2 balls bowled, 2 singles, 9 required from 10. One boundary and you fancy Durham win with ease. A couple of dot balls and then a wicket, and it might just swing back again, but Blaze almost at straw clutching phase. Fanawala comes over from mid-wicket to short third to prevent the reverse. 145 for 3. Graham on 6. Ballinger to bowl. It's hit down the ground. Good connection. That'll go for 4. Heather Graham into double figures, and that will make Durham's life a little easier. Only need 5 now from an over and a half. Both these sides seemingly going to be locked together on 12 points. 3 wins and a draw from 4 matches. But not done yet. 149 for 3. Going to scramble a leg by here. 150 for 3. Remember the format this year. 12 matches played. The top 4 in the group of 9 go through to finals day. That will be held at the Oval again, this time on a Friday the 17th of July. Last year it was an eliminator and then the final. This year 2 semi-finals and a final. This one's just lifted up into the air and it will clear the fielder. And Armitage will get her 50. She comes back for 2. Very well battered, Holly Armitage. The scooping Ballinger over Maria Andrews. Andrews chased after it. A splendid 50 there. 6 fours, 46 balls. Just really made sure. In fact, 5 fours, beg your pardon. 46 balls. Just made sure that really once Villiers and then Heath had gone, she didn't allow the Blaze a sniff of getting back in this. Just 2 required now from 7 balls. Extra fielder brought up. Maybe too late. Last ball of the over. Turn to mid-wicket and there's no run. So it will go to a final over here, with Durham requiring 2 more. Grace Ballinger's done 4 overs, none for 26. That's 9 times out of 10 more than acceptable. Went for 26 runs. But Durham right on the cusp of victory here. 152 for 3. Holly Armitage 50 not out from 47 balls. Heather Graham with a chance to hit the winning blow. Going to be Georgia Elwis. 3 overs for 21. Powwow between captain, bowler and overseas there. Elwis, Knott and Kelly. Just discussing what they could possibly do here in a seemingly impossible position. Everybody, I think, bar Tammy Beaumont in the ring now. Beaumont at deep mid-wicket. They know all about Heather Graham, of course, but Heather Graham knows all about Georgia Elwis, who comes in to start the final over, and Graham lifts it away over the offside and away for 4, and that's that. And Durham win this game by 7 wickets with 5 balls to spare. Heather Graham finishes 15 not out. Holly Armitage with an unbeaten 50 to her name. Very good indeed from Durham, who go to 12 points from 4 matches. Armitage finishing 50 not out from 47 balls, and the Blazers unbeaten start to the Vitality T20 Blast competition comes to an end on home territory. Missing players, admittedly, and they will feel that probably left a few runs out there. Got off to a fast start with Marie Kelly making a quick fire 28, but Tammy Beaumont had already gone by then, made 12 from 9. Blaze were going nicely, really. 91 after the first 10 overs. They had lost 3 wickets, lost their way in the second half of the innings, all out for 153. 3 wickets to Maddie Villiers. Villiers with the bat made 47 at the top of the order. Quick fire 36 from Bess Heath, and it was Durham who got home. 156 for 3. Graham 15 not out from 12. Armitage 50 not out from 47. Blaze successful bowlers. Emma Jones 3 overs 2 for 21. Charlie Knott 4 overs 1 for 32. It's Durham that take the spoils in the women's match here. As I say, they are 3 wins and a loss from 4 matches. The Blaze exactly the same. The match between the first placed Surrey and third placed Somerset. Surrey made 153 for 5. Somerset currently 45 for 3 in the 6th over. You can keep abreast of that one and all the other scores, of course, throughout the day on the BBC Sport website and app. But if you want to follow the men's match, that will be starting at 3 o'clock here. Notts Outlaws against Durham. There will be pictures. There'll be a live stream, Trent Bridge Live, or on the Nottinghamshire County Cricket Club YouTube feed. You'll be able to see the live pictures. We'll have commentary as well on the BBC Sport website and app of that one. That's just around the corner. Commentary on that one will begin just before 3 o'clock, and locally there'll also be commentary on BBC Radio Nottingham's FM frequencies for that one. That will be getting underway in around about an hour. But the women's match is finished with a win for Durham by 7 wickets. Congratulations to them. Really good game of cricket, and well chased down. The chase led by Holly Armitage with an unbeaten 50. She'll be delighted with her performance. And still 8 matches for each to go in the group. Fancy them both to certainly challenge for those knockout places for a spot at finals day. I'll be back with the men's match a little later on. In the meantime, as I say, congratulations to Durham. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon, whatever you're doing. And if you're with me for the men's game, that'll be in around about an hour's time.